Please take a second to look over this disclaimer before proceeding to the rest of this video. Hi guys, once again this is Alfred from amasters.com. Back today, and I'm gonna do a little video with, like I do most weeks. I'm trying to make this a weekly thing where I do some technical analysis and we talk about something that's happening in the news, whether it's related to crypto or the conventional markets. So let's dive right in. You know where I like to start at? I like to start right here on the home page of a Masters and look at the fearmonger. We have one bull now, one bull plus, um, 3.5. That's our score. So that tells us we got a smidge of bullishness in the market. The number is relatively low. And if you're new to this channel and not familiar with this concept, this is our own custom volatility index indicator. We tried to make it graphically easy to understand with the bears on this side and the bulls on the other so that you can get an idea of the sentiment, which is just based on the volatility in the markets. So this is tuned to Bitcoin, but almost all of the other cryptos are going to correlate to Bitcoin. So that's why I just look at Bitcoin. And there's this old saying. This is very similar to the VIX volatility index for the S&P. That's what inspired us to make this. And there's an old saying that says when the VIX is low, time to go. VIX is high, time to buy. So as these numbers got lower, like somewhere over here, you can see on the week we done as low as 0.106. That's the time to go. If it's high, you can see here on the year, or as long as we've been putting these numbers out for everyone, right here you can see it was as high at one point as 44. That was the time to buy. So I use it to help me time and help me understand what sentiment is out there based on the numbers and volatility. There's no real news. I think the biggest news to talk about is the Fed and the rah rah guys on CNBC were talking about maybe they've done enough, looking for a point 50, and of course they came out and they done 0.75. They also kind of warned that hey, we're going to keep working in working this program of increasing the rates until we get to where we're trying to get to, which is like 2%. So um, I'll talk about the market's reaction to that, but all along they had never they had never said anything to indicate that there was a reason to believe it would have been less than 0.75, and that's what happened there. Now let's just run through. I got a lot of charts I want to look at, and I want to point some things out because sometimes I hear people say, "Yeah, this is all great, but how do I make some money?" What I really like to do, let's move on. What I really like to do is go over here and I like to look for real extreme biases in the market. I use my market breadth here on our trade ideas leaderboard, and this happened right at the end of yesterday. This is reset now, but you can see there was a high bias to the downside. I saw this as high as like 24. This even at the end of the day it was 2 to 24. There wasn't nothing moving up over here but BAT and Litecoin. Let's really quickly let me look at these. There's BAT basic attention token. It's up it's up 6.74 now. Um, Still moving. That's the only one of the two things that we saw going up on our leaderboard the other day. What else am I looking for? Oh, Litecoin. Litecoin. Here we go. Now it's up 11.52. It's at 61.44. It's been slowly going up all day. Again, that was just a trade idea. But again, sometimes guys are like, well, okay, TA is nice, but how do you make money? There you go. How do you make money? You look at the trade ideas, get in where you fit in. Okay. Uh, but I'm not just looking at it like that. I'm also looking at the bigger picture stuff, and that's the market is uncannily was uncannily down. Most of these cryptos are selling off, and that's when I like to come in and start looking for my buys. Easy buys would have been Litecoin, would have been bad. Let's talk about why. Because everybody's looking for yield. There's not much going up out here. Everything else is getting out of the way, and the only thing that's going up is BAT and Litecoin. And professionals are looking for yield, and they're selling off the most speculative positions that they're most profitable in. That's why you see Ape was selling off hard, Solana selling off hard. What's some I've been watching on here for a while? Zaliqa was selling off, ETH, Bitcoin, but again, they weren't aggressively, to me, not aggressively selling off. Over here, I like to buy dips, especially when I see a breath like this with two going up, 23, 24 going down. I like to look for things with a high score here, and also in yellow, because they'll at least tell me there's a possibility that they're gonna stop running down on that day. And I like to start building me a position there. I almost never go all in on a position just all at once, because I don't want it easy for. Why am I making it easy for the market makers to liquidate me or put me in a state of loss? So I want to size into my positions. That's why when you see me tweeting, I'm talking about, well, I may start a buy program here. That means I'm going to start pinching in here, and I might pinch in a little more if it goes lower. That way I don't have to have perfect timing or a perfect entry, and nor am I going to try and have perfect timing or perfect exit. I want to be gone by the time the party is over. Okay, let's look at some charts, and let's get right into it. This is the euro. You guys remember last week I was looking at a chart. Euro's up there. Okay, let's look at the euro. I'm going to talk a little about fundamental analysis. Euro has just been being hammered all the time. Okay, where's euro now? Right down here. What was I talking about? We're up into those resistance areas on the week. Now we're down here into the bottom of these resistance areas just a week later. All you got to do is swing trade. Okay, you could have been short all week. Yeah, they tried to fool you a couple of times here, fool you a couple of times there, fool you a couple of times there. They're not trying to fool you. They're trying to knock out and liquidate guys that have an over leveraged position, because you can do that. But at the end of the day, if you aren't putting on too much leverage, then this is an opportunity for you to just sit here and let everybody else run around and make your money. Remember what I talked about in the other video, that military saying that I got from Jeff Bezos, which is slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Okay, if you learn to take your trading like that, your trading gets a lot better. But everybody wants fast money. I get it. That's the euro. Let's look at something else. I'll show you something that I think missed it by that much. I wanted to post this earlier as we were getting around here. I was gonna try and take a loan, and I missed my loan. Okay, because I was doing other stuff. I don't sit around looking at charts all the time. We were getting here to this red bottom of the PMA band, and we already had some stacked orders to come in here and at least get us back up to neutral. It's all good. Okay, I don't believe this for 1 minute. That's liquidation, and that's orders that were stacked there. Let me show you what I mean by that. Excuse me. Let's see. You see when we got to this level before, putting that circle there. Uh, let's turn that circle white. Got to that level. Got that big move up. We're right by this red BMA band. Over here, again, right by this red BMA band. Uh, Came back here. We're getting some similar setup right by this red BMA band. Those stacked orders came in and took us back up. This I originally made this to kind of help me spot pumps. It's kind of like a dynamic rotating Fibonacci. And what I use it for a lot now is to spot um, fibs that are probably going to be activating a lot of algos. So that's why I've got this line down here. See what we got there? Got that pop. And see how it matches with price action up here? The reason I didn't take it earlier also is I was waiting to see where we're going to get down here again. And we got to this area here, which is low. And remember, look at when we got here before. That's because the bots are going to come in and see how that matches. And then come back here to this. It's a fib level, okay? We're below like 30. We're below like 33 and then 32, and then I count that is okay. Now the market's turning south. So somebody doesn't want it to turn south, so they pushed it up from there. And again, circle there, price action, circle down here. We're just looking at things in terms of fibs. This is a crosswalk indicator. You can see all through here we're oscillating down. So all in here, make it easy on yourself. You want to do something, remember like I talked about with that other trade, all through here you're just short. Remember the euro we just looked at, you're just short. Slow, smooth. It's gonna be faster long term, okay? And your moves, because you're giving yourself time for those moves, they're gonna be bigger moves. Well, what's this? This is right around 70 cents. You ride from here to here. You ride from here to here. You're all the way up. You're going all the way up here to 90 something cents. And let's look back on my prior video from last week, and here we were somewhere up in here, and I was saying I'd be selling now. What am I doing today? Selling around here. And what do you have to do? Just be selling. All why? What you could hold this or size out of your position all the way down to here. What I mean by size out, again, I don't. Oh, I'm selling. Sell a little. Take my size down here. Sell a little more. Take my size down here. Sell a little more. Or if I got any left, take my size down. Finish it off here. Sometimes I like to do thirds, so that's just the easy way to do it. Just keeping it simple. And you see Bitcoin is holding around in that average area. Now, the reason I say that it's doing better, oh, I gotta clear this. And let's close this. Let's go over here and take a quick look at the euro. It's a 4-hour chart. You see how far we've dumped into the statistical area there? See where it's a lot more in the dumps just from an objective numbers position. That's why you might get a little bounce. That's a dead cat bounce. People call it in trading. Same thing over here. This is the S&P 500. Again, these are weekly stats. So you see these days going off here. 1, 2, 3, and we're starting the fourth day, which would be Thursday. The Fed came out, made their announcement. It was 75. The guys on CNBC had some people looking for, well, maybe we'll give just a point 50. Maybe their work is done. They ran the market up. Man, I'm bad with these. Ran the market up. Let me just start over. Ran the market up all the way to 1/2 of a deviation. Why did they run the market up? And ultimately, they planned on pushing it down because you got to liquidate all those guys. When the report comes out, run up, liquidate these guys, then do what you really had an intention of doing all along, because there was never nothing that the Fed said that should have gave you an indication. See how they ran it all the way down to the bottom of that statistical area. The Fed never gave anyone any indication that they were finna slow down with their tightening and that they were finna consider easing. But, you know, this gives you an opportunity to see things at high volume, and we may get some consolidation on the downside, or we may get some fake pops all the way up to next Thursday when we have the CPI report. So, looking for consolidation or buys here on the S&P 500. I'm looking for some buys. If I can really see some dumps on the Doge when we get back into that area. Some little signals that I like to see, like those that overbought breath. I like to see that with a whole lot. We've seen as much as 34 out of 36. Those are the triggers for me to start getting involved. I think Bitcoin's holding up fairly well. They're starting to really consolidate this market and just turn it into a conventional trading asset. The good or bad. But if we can get down into those levels, deep into the levels, what we talking about? Lower than 19.3, 19.6 to 19.3, or lower. That's when I would start my buying program. Again, looking for maybe some small bounces near term, but mostly just consolidation on the downside until Thursday of next week. I'll do another video. We'll see if my mind changes on anything. I think that's everything we looked at. Oh, over here we pull back to that level again, because they're not going to just let this happy time continue. We pull back to that level again, then I'll get in at the levels that I mentioned before, like 82, 72, possibly a level in between. But I really like the idea of getting in at 82, 78, another proven level. So, but I'm never hungry, so probably for me it'd be 82, 72, or if I see a trigger like my pump spotter getting way down here to that area that usually triggers the bots to come in and buy. Way down here area triggering the bots to come in and buy. Like I've seen several times, there's an area trigger the bots to come in and sell. You don't know how long it's going to take them to sell, but there's that area. And again, here, there's that area triggering them to come in to buy. That's all I got, guys. Just doing TA, talking about what's going on. Conventional markets, they are correlating with the crypto markets. Once again, it's Alfred for masters.com. See you guys on the next video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If we've helped you, please help us by sharing this content with others.